अस्सलाम वालेकुम। आज हम डेरिवेट करेंगे कॉम्पटन्स शिफ्ट को। डेरिवेट कॉम्पटन्स शिफ्ट। As we know that when a photon, say X-ray photon, is moving with certain velocity, and that certain velocity having a fixed value 3 into 10 power 8 meter per second. Now this photon possessing the energy, and that energy is given by momentum of photon p1 multiply speed of light c. Okay, this energy is called initial energy. We are considering the X-ray radiation in the form of particles. The particles are named as photons. Now suppose there is a stationary electron which is free. It's electron which is a property of graphite, or that the material that we take for which the electron is free or considered as stationary is graphite. Now if this photon is coming and striking with electron whose initial velocity is equal to 0, we have assumed in Compton's effect the initial velocity of the electron is 0. After the striking, photon is scattered in this direction. Let's suppose it is in the direction at an angle called phi. So this angle phi shows the direction in which or along which the photon has scattered. Now what happens, as the photon is struck with the electron also recoils in this direction. Whatever the angle of electron is, we are not related with the angle at which electron recoils. So we are not related with that angle at which electron recoils. We only are related, or we only deal the angle at which the photon is scattered. So this photon is scattered. Okay, now what happens, as the photon is scattered, it is not only scattered, some of its energy is loosened by recoiling this electron, and we can say the energy gained by the electron is equal to E, and this E is equal to under root E naught square plus E naught square plus P square C square. This equation we have studied in theory of relativity, and this equation I have derivated this equation in the photon topic. The lecture is given, and you can search on the YouTube the photon by Faisal Ali Wadu. In that lecture I have derivated this equation. In that lecture I have explained that E naught is the energy of that particle which is at rest, and this energy is called mass energy, because this energy, if in forthcoming topic we will open it, E naught is equal to m naught c square. So this energy is the mass and energy relationship. Therefore if E having square, E naught having square, we can take the fourth power over c and power 2 over the m naught. So this is a mass energy, and P square plus C square, P square into C square. This P is the momentum of electron. Therefore we write here PE. PE means a momentum of electron. Now as photon is striking with the electron, after striking it is scattered, and after as it is scattered having certain momentum and having certain energy. The energy of that scattered photon is less than initial energy because it has loosened its energy by recoiling the electron in this direction, and that energy is called final energy, which is less than initial energy and given by P2c. P2c means final momentum multiplied speed of light is equal to the final energy, and initial P1c is initial momentum multiplied the speed of light is equal to the initial energy. If you want to find momentum of photon, it is very easy to find momentum, and that's there is equation to find out the momentum h upon lambda. Lambda is the wavelength of incident photon. So this is momentum, how to find out the momentum. So we don't need this equation. We only related with the energies, and as photon comes and is striking with the electron, it loses its energy, and after losing the energy, this photon moves in this direction. Firstly, there is a collision, and this collision is considered as elastic collision. Elastic collision is that collision in which law of conservation of momentum and law of conservation of energy both are followed. So here we will write as a law of conservation of momentum, law of conservation of momentum. So here law of conservation of momentum is applied to this collision because this collision is elastic collision. What happens? We know about the formula m1 u1 plus m2 u2 for the initial total momentum, and is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. Okay, now m1 u1 means the first particle's initial momentum, and here first particle's initial momentum is p1c. Instead of this, we write here P1c plus M2 U2 means the initial momentum of the second particle. Second particle was at rest initial velocity equal to 0. Therefore, we will consider it as 0. Okay, the initial momentum was 0 for the electron. Here M1 V1. M1 V1 means final momentum of the particle number 1. So final momentum is a P2c. Oh, here we have done mistake. P2c is the value of energy. The final momentum is only P2, and initial momentum was only P1 plus M2 V2. M2 V2 means the momentum of second particle, and this is final momentum of the second particle. So after collision, electron is the second particle, and having the momentum Pe in this energy equation, Pe is a momentum of electron, and all having a specific direction. Therefore I can give the vector, and I can represent them as vectorial form. So here P1 plus P2 minus P2, because as I will shift here, the P2 will be in minus. P1 minus P2 is equal to momentum of electron. And we know that to find out the magnitude of any vector, we will get the modulus, and by taking the modulus, we will apply the cosine's law as we have studied in the vector chapter. To find out the magnitude of any vector in difference or addition, we will use cosine's law. And cosine's law is very easy concept. Pe square is equal to P1 square plus P2 square minus 2P1 P2 cos theta. So here we will write theta instead of phi, or we should write here phi instead of theta, cos phi. So here we will write cos phi, because here the angle is represented by phi, not by theta. And this is the equation to find out momentum of electron. So I give this equation as equation number 1, and this is law of conservation of momentum that we have applied. There is another law which is followed during this collision, and that is called law of conservation of energy. Law of conservation of energy. Law of conservation of energy. What happens here? Law of conservation of energy states that energy before collision and after collision always remains same. As this photon was coming having its energy P1C. P1C. This is the formula for initial energy. Okay, plus initial energy of this particle before collision, electron. So electron having mass energy. You know very well that a particle having energy mc square in the state of rest, because mass is considered as energy in the relativistic chapters. So here we see its energy is E naught, and here this is a total initial energy before collision. Now we will count the total energy after collision. What is the total energy after collision? After collision, the photon photon is scattered and having energy P2C. Plus, after collision, electron also gained the energy, that is E naught square plus Pe square C square. This extra term comes because it also gains the energy from the incident photon. Therefore, we can write it as E naught square plus Pe square into C square. So this equation I have derivated this equation, this only one term is the equation of energy for the particle, which was firstly at rest and it moves with certain velocity. So here we see under root E naught square plus Pe square into C square. So here we can shift this equation, this term into this side, and we can obtain another expression, that is P1C minus P2C plus E naught is equal to under root E naught square plus Pe square C square. Okay, as we know that C can be taken common, P1 minus P2 into C plus E naught is equal to the root of E naught square plus Pe square into C square. By squaring both sides, we can cancel the under root. So here this root radical sign is cancelled with a square. Now P1 minus P2 square C square plus E naught square is equal to E naught square plus Pe square into C square. Okay, now substituting this P1 minus P2 by using a perfect square equation. As we know that a minus b whole square is equal to the a square minus 2ab plus b square. So here we can use that phenomena of perfect square, and we will get P1 square plus P2 square minus 2P1 P2. And we cannot give here cos theta. Why? Because we are dealing with the energies, and energies are themselves scalar. Here, by using cosine's law, the first terms were vector, therefore we have used cosine's law and cos theta were appear. Here we cannot give cos phi, cos theta, because these are themselves before the giving any signatures or any other vectors, directions, etc. These are scalars. Therefore, by by solving the square, we will get P1 square plus P2 square minus 2P1 P2. No cos theta will be given here. Okay, so here we can say C square plus E naught square. Okay, so here we have done mistake. A small little mistake that we have done here, and that mistake is that this whole square itself is a perfect square. First this perfect square be used, so we can write here this term as a and this term as b. So here we can write it as P1 minus P2 square C square plus E naught square plus 2 P1 minus P2 P1 minus P2 into C into E naught is equal to E naught square plus PE square into C square. Sorry, it was my mistake. And here we see this expression finally we have obtained. We have achieved this equation. Now what will happen? We can shift this E naught in this side, and this E naught can be cancelled out with this E naught, and we can finally get the new expression for that: P1 minus P2 whole square C square plus 2 C E naught P1 minus P2. Okay, equal to momentum of electron square multiplying speed of light square, and by shifting the C square in this side we give here C square in the division, and we can say this P1 minus P2 square again is a perfect square. P1 square plus P2 square minus 2P1 P2. Okay, we will not give here cos theta there, as I have told you before. Again, this is C square plus 2 C E naught P1 minus P2 divided by C square is equal to PE square. Okay, now C square is in divide. For the two terms we will get P1 square plus P2 square minus 2P1 P2 C square whole bracket divided by C square plus 2 C E naught P1 minus P2 divided by C square. C cancelled out, C square also cancelled out, and is equal to PE square. Here we will get a term P1 square plus P2 square minus 2P1 P2. This is the term, plus 2 E naught divided by C into P1 minus P2 is equal to PE square. We know that in equation 1 we have obtained the relation PE square, P1 square plus P2 square minus 2P1 P2 cos theta, and here we can put instead of this PE square. So what the equation that we will get? P1 square plus P2 square minus 2P1 P2 and plus 2 E naught upon C into P1 minus P2 is equal to, now instead of PE you have to write this entire term. So P1 square plus P2 square, P1 square plus P2 square minus or plus minus 2P1 P2 into cos theta. Instead of theta you have to put cos phi. Here P1 square in this side, P1 square in this side, both are cancelled, because if we shift P1 square in this side it will be in minus P1 plus P1 minus cancelled out, P2 square cancelled out, and this 2P1 P2 can be shifted in this side, and we can get next expression 2 E naught divided by C into P1 minus P2 is equal to, what happens here? Here we get 2P1 P2 minus 2P1 P2 cos phi. Okay, now taking the common 2P1 P2 we will get again a next expression, and that is 2 E naught upon C P1 minus P2. Here that term is equal to, taking common we will get 2P1 P2 and here 1 minus cos phi. Okay, what happens here? We can say 2 can be cancelled out with respect to this 2, and here momentum, as I have told you, momentum is equal to h upon lambda, so we can write here h upon lambda. But here firstly P1 P2 is in multiply, we will shift here E naught upon C P1 minus P2, and this P1 P2 if is in multiply we will shift here, these two terms will be in divide. P1 P2 is equal to 1 minus cos phi. So here we can say P1 P2 is in divide with P1 is in divide with P2. Therefore, if we will separate the two, we will get E naught divided by C and P1 divided by P1 P2 minus P2 divided by P1 P2 is equal to 1 minus cos phi, and here we can say P1 cancel, P2 cancel, and we can say 1 upon P2 minus 1 upon P1 is equal to C upon E naught, and here 1 minus cos phi. I have shifted C and E naught in the other side. Here we can say, as I told you, momentum is equal to H upon lambda. So we can write here 1 upon H upon lambda 2 minus 1 upon H upon lambda 1 is equal to C, and E naught is the rest mass energy. So we can write here am naught C square, and 1 minus cos phi. Here lambda 2 can be shifted in this sign, in this numerator. Lambda 2 divided by H and minus lambda 1 divided by H. Here we can say C is cancelled out with respect to C, and we will get 1 upon m naught C 1 minus cos phi. So this equation is derivated. H can be taken common, so 1 upon H, finally lambda 2 minus lambda 1 is equal to 1 upon m naught C 1 minus cos phi, and here H is in divide. When we shift in other side, we will get lambda 2 minus lambda 1 is equal to H upon m naught C into 1 minus cos phi. Lambda 2 minus lambda 1 finally is known as delta lambda is equal to H upon m naught C 1 minus cos phi. So this is a very simple derivation, but this is a lengthy equation to derivate. So you can derivate at your home, and you can when you will derivate this equation, you will make your concept on the Compton effect as much strong as possible. And by the derivation we can make our concept in every topic for which we are doing the derivation as more strongly and a more powerful concept and completely fulfilled, as to the point the concept becomes more completely clean. And here we see this clean and complete topic for the derivation, and that the derivation gives us, and we have noted here delta lambda is equal to H upon m naught C whole 1 minus cos phi. This is the equation how to find out the Compton shift. This delta lambda is called Compton shift. Thank you very much.